Tonight on the Fanatic Forum, we got nothing really. I mean, we don't have anything planned. We're just gonna talk about some random stuff. Just be geeks. But that's what this show's all about, isn't it? We'll be back right after this. Happy Friday, everybody, and welcome to the Fanatic Forum. I'm your fanatic and host, George Bueller. Hope everybody's having a good one out there so far. It has been a week. We actually almost didn't have a show today because I was having some camera issues. So I'm on a little bit different camera than I normally am here, but that's okay. But we can't do this ragtag band of misfitry without my brother from another mother, my partner in crime and junior fanatic, Mr. Seth Manhammer.
What is up, sir?
How are you doing?
I am doing great. I'm glad it's Friday. We finally made it.
Indeed.
I'm just ready to hang out and talk some geeky stuff. And I liked your intro where it was just like, yeah, we got nothing. We're just gonna talk and yammer on for a while. Yeah,
we got nothing. Yeah. Oh yeah, and I was talking about we're talking about what we usually do, watching Dynamite, and I was like, yeah, we don't really have a subject this week here, so but there's plenty of other like random things we can talk about. We don't have anything specific, so yeah, there we go.
Yeah, exactly.
We just keep it loosey goosey.
Right. Absolutely. With your beer stein of doom over there.
Yes, my giant mug here. So
yeah,
I know I still find that hilarious that Michelle cannot hold this with one hand. So, she could barely pick it up.
It's like the Mjolnir of beer mugs. Only those who are worthy.
I mean, I just got it over at a local bar last year during Oktoberfest. So it's my drinking mug.
I understand.
Yeah, Thor would be very happy with that one. So, anywho, so let's see, couple of geek things here to start off the show with. Michelle and I went and saw Beetlejuice last Sunday.
Okay, yeah. What'd you think about that? Because I'm going to be honest. Beetlejuice. I've seen the movie. I've seen the original Beetlejuice. Mm-hmm. Beetlejuice was never one of the things that stuck in my pop culture lexicon, so to speak.
Yeah.
But what'd you think of it? I believe you guys were fans, right?
Yeah. I mean, we've seen that movie tons and tons of times. So especially, Michelle has that on repeat a lot. Of course, I love Keaton in that movie anyway. So I enjoyed it. It's definitely don't go into it expecting like this is not Top Gun Maverick. This is a good, not a great return. It's fun. Like I said, a lot of the cast, that could return has returned. They talk about Gina Davis and Alec Baldwin's characters briefly, but not too much. The interesting thing is how they get around the Jeffrey Jones situation. Because, of course, Jeffrey Jones in the movie plays Winona Ryder or Lydia Dietz's dad.
Right.
And in real life, he is a diddler. So
he got caught with some kiddie porn on his PC there. Yep.
Yes, he doesn't get to be in movies anymore that people will watch. So
unless it's a Deadwood made-for-TV movie, but that's that's a whole other can of worms.
Yeah, that's a whole thing there. But so anyway, how they get around it is that when they show how he gets killed, the entire scene is in claymation. So it's like a cartoon caricature of him. And then, of course, this movie's been out for 3 weeks, so spoilers, spoilers here. How he dies is that there's a plane crash, and he, survives that, gets on a life raft, and then basically his entire top half of his torso and head are bitten off by a shark. So then, as Charles is walking around the afterlife, he's walking around with a headless body. So
so it doesn't have to actually be him. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. He's just walking around headless and doing his thing and navigating the nether world, so to speak. So they skirt around that. But like I said, it was fun. I frankly could have used a little more Keaton in the movie. I don't think he's in it enough.
Okay.
Or that could be a good sign, like we want more of him because it was a good performance. So it's basically my same feeling with the Flash movie. It's like even though the Flash movie was horrible, Keaton was great in it, and I could
Right.
have
Yeah,
used
he was
more.
the best part of that movie. Yeah.
Yeah, he and Supergirl. I keep saying he and Supergirl were the best parts of that movie, and they were barely in it, like a
Yeah.
collective 15 minutes probably. Yeah, so like I said, it was fun. We're not going to be talking about this one for decades on end or anything like that. Yeah, but yeah, it was enjoyable.
Okay. Okay.
It was not a bad time.
Yeah. Yeah, see, what's interesting to me, so it's like I didn't like I said with Beetlejuice, I didn't have that grounding with it, like growing up with it, because it was one of the few things that I was not allowed to watch as a child.
Ah,
Something about it, like, yeah, it was very weird. Like Ghostbusters was perfectly fine, but Beetlejuice like pushed the buttons against Christianity a little too much sometimes. Yeah, I didn't understand it, but whatever. I didn't really care about it that much anyway. But yeah, but then you were mentioning like Top Gun Maverick. Now, see, everybody went on about how great Top Gun Maverick is, and I didn't really care that much for the original Top Gun, so I haven't seen Maverick yet, right?
see,
But
that's kind of my thing. Yeah,
yeah,
please,
but
yeah.
then like caveat to that, everybody was morally offended at this Jake Gyllenhaal Roadhouse remake. And I'm going to be perfectly honest. I thought the Patrick Swayze movie was a piece of shit. I didn't like it that much. So I was actually like hearing people rally against it, saying that it's not like the old Roadhouse, makes me want to see the new Roadhouse even more. So
Uh,
I'm going to have to actually do that at some point.
Now, I'm with you. I was not a fan of the original Top Gun. I'm an Iron Eagle man myself.
Well, absolutely, yeah,
Yeah, so Rock Doug Masters. But Maverick is a very well done story. The acting is good. You care about people, and the plot works. And of course, the photography for the combat scenes in the jets is better than it was in the '80s. So that was the one.
right.
That was the one positive thing about the '80s film is that they had good cinematography for the jet combat. It's even better in 2023. So it actually is worth seeing, and you don't really have to care much about seeing the original. So
Yeah,
just know that
yeah.
yeah,
Tom Cruise and Tom Hanks movies, for some reason, I have a very difficult time not seeing them as Tom Cruise and Tom Hanks, which sucks as far as Tom Hanks is concerned, because I do think he's a great actor,
but yeah,
but it's like all I see is just, oh, Tom Hanks is playing another part now. It's like, yeah, like the last thing I really think I lost him in was in Cloud Atlas, you
yeah,
know, and but yeah, but
and
Tom Cruise is just one dude. It's like I just see Tom Cruise, like he's just, yeah, he can't be anybody else to me.
except for Tropic Thunder,
Yeah, yeah, he did blend in.
yeah, he was amazing in Tropic Thunder, and oh, now Seth
Yeah.
walked up on me. Oh, there you
Oh,
are.
okay, okay, there we go.
Yeah. The character he transformed into, and there's the completely crass hip hop loving movie producer. Yeah, that was unlike any role he's ever been before. So, and he was funny. Oh, did I lose you again? Good lord, we are having some technical blowouts here tonight. Anywho, one other movie I want to talk about here. Oh, there you're back.
Sorry, my internet decided, hey, screw you, buddy, and
No, it's like we're having snafus all night here.
yeah.
No, one other movie I wanted to talk about that I completely want to pan. Michelle picked this one and thought we would like it, but it just arrived at Netflix last week. It's a Lee Daniels film called The Deliverance, and Lee Daniels, the guy that did Precious, with Gabrielle Sidibe and oh, what's her name? Love it. Anyway,
I remember the movie you're
Monique.
talking about. Yeah.
Monique, yeah, Monique.
Okay.
Anyway, so The Deliverance is his most recent movie, and basically Lee's trying to do a horror movie, and I say try very rigorously. Um, this was obviously a movie made by someone who has never made a horror movie before, apparently doesn't watch horror movies very often, may not even enjoy horror movies. Uh,
Great. Yeah, let's let him make some.
Yes. Basically, Lee was trying to do his own version of The Exorcist. If, like, Linda Blair's mom was a single mother alcoholic, they lived in the ghetto, and she was a piece of crap mom. So, and then she's got like the main girl the one who gets possessed, or actually boy, I should say, has siblings, and the siblings kind of also get possessed in radiation near him. Like the demon doesn't actually possess the other kids, but they start changing and going through some stuff, even just because the brother is. It's some weird logic. There's no scares in the movie whatsoever. It focuses almost entirely on the family drama. And the interesting thing about the movie, though, the only really awesome performance is Glenn Close, who plays the mom's mother. So basically, you're like,
Hmm.
okay, grandma likes a little, likes her coffee black, basically, sort of thing
Right,
like
right,
that.
right.
And she does a really good job at it. And then she basically, when the grandmother starts turning, she doesn't get possessed, but the grandmother starts turning demonic. Her performance there is the best in the movie. It's freaky. It's creepy because she gets all like nasty looking and she's already dying of cancer anyway. So when she's not wearing a wig and doesn't have her makeup and all done up, the makeup they have her in makes her
Yeah.
look like she's dying and whatever else. And then she starts like talking this real sweet, creepy voice to her daughter. It's the best scene in the movie, but it takes an hour and a half to get there, and it's a slog of an hour and a half. So it's like, if you want to watch a movie that's about a family drama with a mom and a daughter who have obvious issues, and then the daughter with her three children have issues. There's no father in the mix. There's all kinds of other crap going on. She's an alcoholic. So there's all that stuff going on. You just forget that they're watching a stupid horror movie that's supposed to be about possession.
Right.
And the best part, it's not a priest that saves it. It's a just like a regular parishioner, and they're not trained in exorcisms. They're trained in deliverances, which basically, instead of using the power of Jesus, Jesus comes into them and expels the demon. That's the so we take out the whole movie to build why this is called the deliverance. Um,
Okay. Wow. Yeah.
yeah, here's the best part. It doesn't work. The alcoholic mom who hates Jesus and doesn't, all that kind of bullshit. She does a complete 180 character turnaround, suddenly loves Jesus, and uses the power of Jesus to expel the demons from her family and her home successfully. And it comes completely out of nowhere. It's not earned whatsoever. Like I said, this
This
movie
movie sounds terrible. Yeah.
it is garbage. And unfortunately, Michelle enjoyed it, and I'm like, really?
Did she enjoy it ironically or?
No, she's like, oh, that was really good. I'm like, well, there were some good performances in there, but it's like that's a horror movie made by people who've never seen or made a horror movie in their life.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
yeah, it was just. I'd rather go like watch Night of Lepus twice in a row. That has more entertainment value. Hey, we got some comments here. Bobby James, what is going on? How you doing,
Hello,
sir?
hello.
Yeah, so whew, yeah, yeah, check out Beetlejuice. It's fun. The Deliverance on Netflix, not so
Not
much.
so fun. Yeah.
Not so much. Yeah. Now, some fun stuff that is on Netflix. The Penguin series has debuted on HBO Max, and apparently to rave reviews already. I mean, of course, it's still Colin Farrell still playing Ozzy. They're building off the world done in the first Pattinson Batman, so I'm there for it. I can't wait.
Yeah.
And then on Disney, we got the first two episodes of Agatha All Along, which of course spin off from WandaVision, and the reviews for that are really good too. So we got two thumbs up there for two streaming shows, which is
Yeah,
very good.
that's the one that's taken over my TV now. I hate okay, I have one of those Roku TVs downstairs,
Yeah.
and it drives me bonkers that it's like I've got it set to the Western theme, so
Oh
every
yeah.
time you turn the remote, it has the little guitar twang and everything. I
Oh, I
like
know.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a fun get. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really great until Roku decides, "Hey, we're gonna advertise this to you." And I turn my TV on, it's some other crap. And it's like, no, I've tried to go through and disable as much of that crap as I can, but now I'm, looking at the new Agatha advertisements are all over my TV now. And I mean, I hate this. I hate this idea that my TV is working against me. And yeah, yeah,
It's a good point. It's a good point. Oh, poor man. That's all right.
yeah.
We'll
Yeah.
get there. I mean, you'll probably be done within its first week anyway because they did a 2 episode premiere, so you let the newness wear off and it'll go away.
Yeah.
Agatha will
That'll be
stop
something
bothering you.
else.
Well, I do have a couple of notes of some wrestling news before we get to the new
Wrestling
comics here.
news.
First off, you heard about this one as well, but
Mhm.
AEW wrestler, former WWE superstar Miro, has asked for his release from AEW.
Which, give it to him if he ain't going to do nothing other than sit in Bulgaria and whine.
Yeah, I mean,
You
granted,
know.
he got divorced from Lana, CJ Parker, his real life wife, who he was with in WWE. They
Yeah.
got divorced, and after they got divorced. He moved back to Bulgaria. He's been there ever since. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And then, yeah, there was some kind of scuttlebutt that he kept he turned down some kind of program with Moxley, or he pitched a program with Moxley and turned it down or something. And, that the whole thing, like the scuttlebutt with Miro for the longest time has been, if he doesn't win, he doesn't want to do it.
right.
And yeah, I'm not saying that was what happened. That wasn't what was speculated. That's my speculation, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I've heard similar things as well. Yeah, he may be kind of like a legend in his own mind, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So he had some decent programs in WWE when he had good control, but when he had no control in AEW, he was all over the place. So
Right. Yeah.
yeah, at one point
He
he was
did get
fighting.
one of the. Sorry,
Yeah,
go ahead.
I was saying at one point he was feuding with God.
Yeah. Yeah, it did give us one of the best Eddie Kingston one-liners ever, though.
Yes, yeah,
And you know
please.
exactly what I'm talking about. Redeem these nuts. Yeah.
Redeem these nuts. And the
Yeah.
man had a T-shirt the next week.
Oh, yeah. It was
Like
beautiful.
it was. It really was. The other bit of WWE news here. Now, of course, this has been speculated for a while that Penta and Phoenix, the Lucha Brothers, are possibly heading to the World Wrestling Federation or World Wrestling Entertainment.
Mhm.
That is a fact. They have apparently signed their deals just this week. And the best news is they're skipping NXT and going straight to the main roster.
Good. They need to do that. And I'm sorry, there's some kind of like gnat or a bug that's like float. So if you see me like just karate chop the air, I'm trying to swat at whatever this pest is that keeps flying in my eye line.
It's the last bastion of the fruit flies, man, before they all die off. So
Yeah, I guess so. And it's the friggin' one that yeah.
no, I know. I dig it. Hey, what's up, Bradley? How you doing, sir?
Hello, hello.
Oh, but yeah, so that's I'm very excited to finally get to see the Lucha Brothers because WWE needs to kind of strengthen their tag team division. They're starting to, but
They really do. They really do. And I do hope though that the Lucha Brothers don't immediately like get pigeonholed in with the LWO. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but it just seems like that there's a lot of like there's still that racial division in the WWE a
yeah,
lot, and anybody who's Hispanic who's not in the Judgment Day is in the LWO,
right.
But yeah.
Or then you also got Legado del Fantasma as well.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah, his group too, yeah.
yeah,
Who's
so
the group
yeah,
that has to feud with LWO?
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, at least though we're not dressing people up in like work clothes and sitting them on, riding lawnmowers and stuff like that.
That
So,
is true. That
you
is
know,
true. We're not
yeah,
doing that anymore.
yeah, they did do that once though. It's called the
Yeah.
2000s, folks. Look it up. Oh boy.
Yeah. Now I did hear a rumor though that a lot of that was actually Eddie Guerrero's idea, just because he knew that people would blame Vince for making them do it. And I can see that. I can almost see that as like an Eddie troll.
Oh,
But I don't know if that's just like, something that has started to come up here within the past couple of years as revisionist history or what. But I like the sound of it, if anything else.
that's great though. Yeah, I actually kind of hope that is true because
Yeah.
just so all these like stupid Vince and Eddie's laughing in head and going like
Right, yeah. We got him.
lie, cheat, and steal. That's the Eddie Guerrero way.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, now it's time for some new comics, and we got some cool stuff this week here. I've only got one Marvel selection this week here. There is a new Ghost Rider title that's just started up called Spirits of Vengeance. This is the EM Gist variant cover. I had to get this one because it just looks
Oh, yeah,
badass.
that looks awesome. Yeah.
But this is an all new title, all new creative team. So this doesn't spin off of the most recent Benjamin Percy run that just ended. Johnny Blaze is in this one. Danny Ketch, the '90s Ghost Rider, is supposed to return in this series as well. But what the series does mainly focus on is the return of the third Ketch Rider, Vengeance, who we haven't seen basically since the late '90s.
Ooh.
So yeah, he's the Ghost Rider who had the purple flame and had like
Yeah,
more
yeah.
more chains and spikes stuff like that. So yeah, this is a comeback series for Vengeance. So because apparently Vengeance has been separated from his host, and his host is being trapped somewhere, whether it's in hell, whether it's in some other dimension. But yeah, so apparently, yeah, Johnny and the brothers are going to get together and help Vengeance get his body back and all stuff like that. So, but yeah,
Okay.
it was a fun start to a new run here. Good arts. Yeah, also I was quick reads. I was here for it. So we'll see what happens next.
Hells yeah.
This Saturday happens to be Batman Day, celebrating 85 years of Batman.
Did you hear the other bit of Batman news too?
Which one?
That Batman is the first superhero to have a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Yep.
Yep.
Yes, I did hear that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they announced a couple new titles as well, but yes, yeah, the Hollywood Walk of Fame star. So yeah,
Yeah. Not
that's
the
it's
first fictional character on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, mind you, but the
but the
first
first
superhero. Yeah.
yeah, he made it on there before Superman, before Spider Man, everybody.
Yep. Before
Batman's
friggin'
first.
Wolverine.
Yeah, everybody. So yeah, that's impressive. So I'm curious who accepted the star though, or if they had like a bunch of Batman actors come out, or
Oh, that
you
would
know,
have been awesome. I don't know. Yeah.
or like if it's like the family of Bill Finger and Bob Kane or something like that, or I don't know, but
Oh, or all the people that Bill or yeah Bob Kane screwed over the years
that
that
could
come out
be
to
it
get the
too. Yep.
recognition. Yeah.
Hmm. Yep. Oh, the stories and the histories we could tell of the great figures of comic book history that have screwed over other great figures of comic book history that should have been greater.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm looking at you, Stan Lee.
Yeah. It could have been a lot better. Sucks at what
Mm,
happens to you in your twilight years, but it could have been a lot better before that. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. You shafted Steve Ditko and Jack Kirby, and those two guys saved your ass and your company.
Oh yeah.
Anywho, rant over. All right, over on the distinguished comics side of things here. See what I did there? See what I did?
Hmm.
Anyway, I'm sorry, the distinguished competition. That's what they were referred to in the Marvel bullpen. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's to them. That's what DC stood for. Distinguished competition. Yeah. But anywho, this is a zero-issue prologue for the upcoming Batman Long Halloween: The Last Halloween, the third and final sequel to the Long Halloween trilogy.
Yeah. Now, how's Tim Sale drawing that?
There's an interesting story about this. So, this is actually a re-release of the Long Halloween special that came out a couple of years ago. That kind of does take place after Dark Victory and kind of hinted at a further project, but it didn't happen because literally 6 months later, Tim Sale passed away very
Oh,
suddenly.
okay. Okay.
So Tim did a lot of cover artwork, so you're going to see a lot of Tim Sale covers on this series. But the interior artwork for this zero issue is Tim Sale artwork because he did this before he passed.
Yeah.
But the regular series, which is going to be a 10-part series, The Last Halloween, is going to be done by a multitude of artists. Basically, people are coming out of the woodwork. It's a who's who to do this series for Tim.
That is
So
cool. That
so
is
it's
cool.
so it's basically taking all the ideas that Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale created for this final installment of the Long Halloween. But yeah, basically you got a lot of artists coming out in tribute for Tim. So
That is cool. Yeah.
yeah, so I'm looking very forward to it. So if you already have the Long Halloween special that came out a couple of years ago, you don't need this unless you want to read the supplementary material in the back talking about kind of the making of what they're doing after Tim's death, yada 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 from there. So that's really the reason to get this one, especially if you're a Tim Sale fan.
Yeah.
Another interesting thing, and these may already be sold out at your local comic shop because they're sold out at ours, but they did a re-release of Batman Elmer Fudd.
You were just talking about that not too long ago, I believe. Yeah.
This is easily one of the greatest crossovers ever. And I am not being facetious, folks. This was done several years ago when Warner Brothers crossed over Looney Tunes characters with basically DC comic book heroes. 90% of the stories were fun and cartoony. The Snagglepuss series dealt a lot with kind of a coming of age LGBTQ story. So that was well done. But so that was done more seriously. But most of the others were comic booky.
Yeah.
This one, on the other hand, 100% serious. Elmer Fudd, though he does still have his speech impediment, is in Gotham because basically he's hunting after some lowlife named Bugs Bunny. He finds Bugs at the bar with no name, basically kind of the similar one that Marvel has in the DC universe. But
Yeah.
anyway, but the bar where all the criminals hang out at, Elmer finds him, and then basically Bugs points him, like, I got a bigger fish for you. How about this Bruce Wayne guy? And so he sends him after Bruce Wayne, and then basically eventually a collision with Batman ensues. And then you find out that Batman and Elmer have something in common because there's a lady they've both been with that over the years still sort of manipulates them from time to time. And so basically, the lady who used to be with them is now with Bugs, and the two of them are manipulating these two to take each other out. So basically, Bugs doesn't have to worry about Batman or Elmer Fudd. It is outstanding. It's just nice little twists and turns. Can't reinvented cameos for pretty much everybody in the Looney Tunes universe. We're talking Sylvester and Tweety, Porky, Pepe Le Pew, Foghorn Leghorn, Yosemite Sam, Marvin the
Now,
Martian.
are these like humanized characters, or are they still anthropomorphized animals?
Well, let's put it this way. Bugs Bunny is the ugliest looking dude because he's got like big old slot jaw rabbit teeth, kind of thing like that.
Okay, yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
everybody's human, but they have some interesting features to them or they have some interesting dialogue that will point you as like, oh, okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But the other interesting thing is that they also released a noir version, an entirely black and white version of
Oh,
Batman
damn.
Elmer Fudd. So, yeah, if you guys can find this at your local comic shop, I highly recommend picking up one or both because, like I said, we sold out on Wednesday at Clobberin. So, yeah, they went fast.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Um, the other because there's some freebies for Batman Day tomorrow as well, but there's also like the paid exclusives. The Long Halloween Zero issue, the Batman Elmer Fudds are paid exclusives. The last one is another facsimile reprint of Detective Comics 27, which is the very first appearance of Batman.
Oh, yeah.
But here's the kicker: one, it's a complete facsimile. It's the entire book, not just the Batman story. So you get all the other stories that were involved in Detective Comics 27, which not all of them were superhero stories.
Right, yeah, yeah.
Second, the pages look aged. They kind of did a little technique where the pages look a little aged. And
Yeah.
third and foremost, it is in the proper Golden Age format. It is the
Oh, damn.
size of a proper Golden Age Detective 27. And it's
Yeah.
basically a Golden Age Action Comics #1, a Detective 27, basically is the size of what we know as a magazine. That's
Right.
why they call them comics magazines. Yeah, they
That
didn't.
is cool. They went with facsimile edition. They went facsimile. Like,
They went
yeah,
100% with it. Yeah, and they've got like standard. They've got foil covers, and they've also got blank ones as well. But yeah,
yeah.
it's just a lot of fun to be able to have that little piece of history, and just be able to see the rest of what was in that book.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because that's like that, and like I know Amazing Fantasy 15 is another one that,
Mhm.
like that they had there wasn't just the Spider-Man story in there. There were two or three other stories that had
Yep,
nothing to do with it. Action Comics, yeah, that was another one that didn't just have a Superman story.
exactly.
Now once you started to get into like the single titles of it, like Batman, Superman, then they started to get the entire book dedicated to him. It would
100.
be
Yeah.
multiple stories, but yeah.
Yeah, but that was the thing. Yeah, it's all those old books where these guys premiered, and they were all anthology books. So
Yeah.
yeah, there's like all American comics where you get the first Alan Scott Green Lantern or DC Showcase, the one the first Hal Jordan Green Lantern. Yeah, those are just
Yeah.
one story in the book.
Yeah, that was
So
how they would gauge the popularity of the characters too, to see who got the bigger books, the single title deals. Yeah.
yep. Or in the case of Amazing Fantasy 15, it was a book that was about to get canceled, and Stan had an idea for a character, and Martin Goodman's like, "Yeah, what the heck, give it a shot.
Yeah.
No one cares anyway because the book's about to get canceled." And then they find out they had a hit.
Yeah. That they've created one of the most endearing pop culture icons of all time.
Yes, they did. Hey, Jackson, what is going on, sir? Good to see you.
Hello, hello.
So my indies selections for this week here, and we had some good ones.
Mhm.
From Keen Spot, which I don't normally buy stuff from Keen Spot, but they made this one a little bit too hard to resist. Mark
Ooh.
Spears Monsters. Mark Spears is an extremely talented artist. He's responsible for this cover art. He also does all the interior art as well. This is a new series that involves all the classic Universal monster tropes here. They're not officially Universal monsters, but you've got
They're
the
the yeah, right, yeah. They're like the Monster Squad versions of the Universal, yeah.
and actually that's a very good point you made because this is kind of almost like a adult version of the Monster Squad. It doesn't involve children. There are a group of adult, heroes and hunters and whatever else. They're trying to
Right.
basically stop all the monsters. But basically, the plot point is that there's this secret castle that was built, centuries ago that houses everything evil. A wizard locked it away, and everybody's always rushing over this MacGuffin of the ring that unlocks the castle so you can unlock the dungeon where all the evil things lurk in there. So apparently Dracula has already busted out and he's trying to get the rest of his crew in there. But of course, I mean, we got like the Bride, Frankenstein's monster, the Wolf Man, the Mummy, Jekyll and Hyde, the Gill Man. Trying to think, there's a couple others I think that are represented here as well. And then our main hero is a character known as the Last Slayer, who basically looks kind of like Solomon Kane if he was wearing a mask.
Oh,
But yeah, very the pilgrim, yeah, witch hunter, vampire hunter, everything evil kind of hunter. So,
right, yeah.
and nothing is really known about this guy. Rumors are he's been alive for centuries. So we'll see. But yeah, so this was a lot of fun. I had a blast with it. My friend Carl Wilson turned me on to this and said, "Oh, this kind of looks kind of cool. And you guys going to get this?" And I looked up our orders, like, "We are. This does look really cool."
Yeah.
And yeah, yeah. Carl, you were right, sir. Yeah, because that's a blast. Also, we sold out. We had 6 variant covers for that Mark Spears Monsters. 6 variant covers outside of the A cover. So basically 7 covers to choose from. We are sold out of all of them
Oh, damn.
now. Yeah.
Wow.
We sold out of a lot of stuff this week, man. It's like there's some good books. So one we didn't sell out of yet, which is a shame because this is a really good one. It took 9 months for this issue to come out, but issue 3 of Fire and Ice
They're finally
finally.
on issue 3? Oh, wow.
We should be on issue 7.
Yeah.
There are solicitations out for issue 7, but for whatever we never even heard the reason from Dynamite Comics of why Fire and Ice 3 was so late. But this was worth the wait because we got some outstanding battle scenes. We got like dragons versus the ice dragons versus the Fire Kingdom dragon riders. Lots of ground combat, just people getting like they must have known like we got to turn the volume up on this one
We
here.
gotta give him something really good, yeah.
Yeah, this was a badass issue, my favorite of the series so far. So
Okay.
hopefully they get back on track with us here because I love Fire and Ice. I grew up with that movie.
Oh, yeah, it's
uh,
a great movie, yeah.
and this series is a prequel that takes place literally right before the movie, so it kind of gives you like the lead up to the events beforehand.
Right.
So yeah. Oh, hey, Jackson got a comment here. It says apparently this year is also the 50th anniversary of the Punisher. And he doesn't expect Marvel to celebrate.
Yeah,
That's
probably not.
I haven't heard anything yet. Granted, we still don't have solicitations yet for December. And of course, they have put out 50th anniversaries for Iron Fist. The Deathlock one came out this week. But yeah, I haven't heard anything about a Punisher 50th anniversary, and that's a character they would mark if they would normally, but I don't know.
Yeah. As much as I hate it though, like the Punisher's been co-opted into like some negative publicity stuff, and I hate that they changed his logo in the comics because of it.
Well, see, here's the
But
thing
yeah,
though. They didn't. Reason why they changed the logo was merely for the story they were doing, where he basically was made general of the hand. So he was wearing their logo, being the general there. But then he dropped the logo when he kind of died and goes off to this other dimension, and now is kind of like there's all these like some sort of possibly hinted at like a despotic ruler and all these orphan kids, and so he's basically now kind of this protector of the kids and gonna avenge their parents' death or something along those lines. So that's kind of
Yeah.
where they hinted with the end of the Jason Aaron run. Of course, we haven't seen Frank Castle since. It's been a year and a half now, so we'll see where we go from there. But I hold out hope that we might get something. But yeah, hopefully just morons who've never read a comic book in their life have co-opted a character they know nothing about, or even worse, law enforcement co-opted a character they know nothing about.
Yeah, that they don't understand at all. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So he's not a good guy, folks. Been a
No.
Punisher fan since the '80s, folks. He's not a good guy.
Right, yeah. He's an entertaining read in the same way that Judge Dredd is an entertaining read. Like, I don't want to live in Mega City 1 by any stretch. Judge Dredd's not a hero. You
Mm-mm.
know, it's just, they're fun stories,
He will
you
shoot
know.
your ass for jaywalking. You know?
Right, yeah. The Punisher is the same way, yeah. The crime is crime.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Jackson's commenting say that really the only thing he liked about that Jason Aaron run was Jesus' art. Very good art. Actually, I liked the run though. I liked what they did with kind of the reason why the Hand was able to recruit Frank. It's like, we can resurrect your wife, and they did. But they
Yeah.
couldn't resurrect the kids though, because apparently their way their evil magic works, it doesn't work on children. So works on
Yeah.
adults just fine. But yeah, so the way that was worked out and the drama that ensued, and kind of the control that Maria had over Frank, and maybe his decision making and his decision to basically turn on the Hand, sort of thing like that. Yeah, that was I enjoyed the drama with that stuff. So again, yeah, I enjoyed the Jason Aaron run. It was definitely, they did something different with him, did something controversial, but it still made sense for the character, I think.
Right.
My last two selections for my indie stuff here. Once again, the return of EC Comics, bringing us the third issue of Epitaphs from the Abyss, this great Lee Bermejo cover. Someone getting drugged down into a creepy cellar there. I just absolutely love this series. It's everything we loved about the old EC comics, their storytelling. The only thing really that's missing is the pre-code style of art that the horror books used to have, and the vibrant color and the very insane kind of drawings and whatever else. So that's honestly the only thing that's missing. But I just, again, note perfect. The thing I love about the series is that while we've seen a lot of familiar horror tropes, or we've seen some zombie stories, or in this one we've got a lonely lady who works in the city morgue, and basically all the corpses are her friends, and so we've
Yeah.
seen kind of stuff like that, lonely hearts in weird places, kind of horror stories, whatever else. But the way they do the storytelling, the way they find just little original twists just to make it seem fresh, or just little changes here and there, I really appreciate. Epitaphs from the Abyss, I think, has been a writer's paradise, because you could do these short form stories, quick little bites, however as long as you want them to go, and just make an impact, make it
Yeah.
punch. So yeah, I just the Cruel Universe anthology series that also accompanies this. It's more of the sci-fi. The second issue is better than the first one. I'll say. But yeah, just Epitaphs from the Abyss, 3 issues in, none of them have been a stinker. All the stories have been good in there.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, issue 2 had probably one of the best zombie stories I've ever read in my life. And it was a very sentimental zombie story, while also taking kind of an angle we've not really seen before. So
Yeah.
maybe a story from the point of view of the zombie itself.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. My final one here comes from Boom Studios, and this is a thick boy here. This mother is
Oh,
the
wow.
size of a trade paperback, and it's only $10.
Dang.
And this is The Graveyard Club by R.L. Stein, Carola Borelli, and Francesco Segalia. Carola and Francesco do the art here. R.L. obviously handles the writing. This is really cool. This is definitely a kickoff, possibly to, I don't know if it's going to be maybe a series of small trades, or if this is going to be a series, because they said that basically in April we're going to get the Graveyard Club series.
Yeah.
But basically, you get a band of kids that lives in a town called Gravesend, and apparently the entire town is surrounded by cemeteries. It's an odd, apparently, area in the United States where literally it's a small town. Cemeteries are the stock and trade of the place. The kids are obviously bored, nothing to do. They hang out in the cemetery and drink beer and shoot the shit, whatever, stuff like that. There's a cop in town who's kind of a bully and not a good guy. There's also a lot of supernatural weird stuff going on. Something that involves two of the kids missing fathers. That basically they both went missing the same night, and maybe they're seeing instances of them. There's also a large amount of bats that are flying around the city at night and either attacking people, attacking houses, whatever else. And kind of almost as soon as they arrive, they're gone. Sort of thing like that. So very kind of
Yeah.
quick, sort of things like that. So just a lot of intriguing stuff set up in this issue here. So yeah, so I'm really curious to see where this goes here. But like I said, I was just stunned by it. It's like you're getting a trade paperback for $10.
Yeah, that is a thick boy.
It is, yeah, and it reads very quickly. Like I said, I read it in probably I don't know maybe 30 minutes. So it just it goes by really fast.
Yeah.
But yeah, this isn't as bloody as like, 'cause of course, like R.L. Stein's gotten back into comics pretty hardcore with his Stuff of Nightmares anthology series, which that's definitely not for kids. This is probably, I would say, like a teenager to adult book.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put this in the hands of little kids, but teens could definitely relate to this one here. But so it's a little more kind of you know, maybe a little more grown up Stranger Things kind of feel to it.
Okay.
But
Okay.
yeah. So I enjoy where it's going. But like I said, we're not going to get another installment until April, so we'll see where it goes from there. So, oh, and hang on,
Yeah.
Bradley's got a comment on here. Said he read the first issue of Epitaphs, like the first two stories. The last two were kind of questionable. He does like the dark humor. Uh, oh yeah, so yeah, there's a story in there about basically it's a political story on how basically you've got people who are your Republicans, your Democrats, and there's a candidate who suddenly was a very known Democrat that starts switching to more conservative policies, and so one of her constituents or one of her colleagues is trying to figure out what's going on, and basically you're finding out that all these politicians are getting kidnapped and brainwashed.
Oh.
Yeah. And so basically the ones that are flipping are basically the ones that have been brainwashed and, been told to go, for
Right.
this side or this, thing in there. So, but yeah, that's the one thing I enjoy about the epitaphs is that there is a lot of dark humor in the stories. Like I say, it's kind of that old O. Henry style of storytelling where you're going to learn a very painful and dark lesson. The
Yeah.
reader will enjoy ourselves, but the subject, on the other hand, yeah, it's going to hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're probably going to die, or you'll be turned into some horrid monster, or something along those lines. But yeah, this one's going to hurt.
Yeah. It's never pretty in those stories.
It never is. Yeah,
No.
that's what's so fun about them. So supposedly in December we're going to get shocking suspense stories or spine tingling suspense stories, something along those lines. That's more of your suspense, obviously genre, and then a fantasy genre in January called Cruel Kingdom.
Oh.
So yeah, so basically they're going to have 4 titles. But yeah, just you know, first time in 65 years, EC Comics is back on the map again, and frankly, I think it's here to stay. They're good. It's good stuff, folks. So if you like
Yeah.
your old Tales from the Crypt and Vault of Horror, or shocking suspense stories, or crime stories, or whatever else, yeah, pick these up, folks. Yeah, you will not be disappointed. So, well, before we wrap things up, because we're going to wrap things up a little faster today, because, like I said, we didn't have much going on here, so we kind of like that. We're
Yeah.
giving you guys a break instead of the hour and 45 minute episode.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. We'll be back with one of those in a couple of weeks, I'm sure.
Yes, we will, because of course we're definitely going to have to talk about our experience of what we're going to be doing next weekend.
Yes. Yeah. Next Friday we will be seeing Slayer in all their reunited glory. After 5 years of no touring, they come back for 2 shows.
Yeah,
Yes.
one at a California festival that I think has already happened, and then
Hmm.
the second one on little old Louisville, Kentucky.
Yep.
So, of course, let's see. Clutch is going to be there as well. Anthrax. I'm not a big
Yeah.
Seven Dust fan, but they're kind of cool. Tom Morello's going to be there.
Fozzy.
Fozzy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should stand as close to the stage as we can get and just constantly the whole set just go, "Hi guys."
You're the learning tree.
Hey,
Uh,
Chris, I just want to tell you there. When you're going to be singing, make sure you're doing lots of throat exercises and use lemon and honey and hot water to open those
right, yeah,
muscles up there.
tell him how to sing. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Don't use a backing track. That's for losers.
yeah,
Oh, is that your backing track right here? Yeah, you should turn that off. Yeah. Bye, guys.
yeah. We're getting kicked out now.
Oh yeah, so that's gonna be fun. Of course, I've been to Bourbon and Beyond once before, and just walking around the festival grounds is just a lot of fun. I mean, there's a lot of shops and places to drink and things to spend your money on, and interesting folks, and hell, I even got a palm reading while I was there. So
Oh yeah,
yeah, talked to all kinds of interesting people and things like that, and enjoyed some good tunes. So yeah, it'll be a fun time, and I get to be with my buddy from another mother.
yeah. I am looking forward to seeing it. I'm looking forward to hanging out too. It's going to be a blast.
Yep, and never fear, I will have most of our amenities that we need. I've got a collapsible water bottle myself, so you may want to provide a water bottle because there are free water stations, but you got to
Right,
bring
right.
your own. You got a BYOB.
Okay, yeah,
Um,
that's no big deal.
I've got a clear satchel bag, so if we need to store anything in there, we can put it in there, and no one will say boo to us. Also, because we're old men, I will have earplugs.
Oh yeah, I was gonna make sure to pick up some of those.
Nope,
Yeah,
no, I've got
but okay.
earplugs, and I've also got sunscreen.
Oh yeah, yeah. The other thing that my poor complexion would not. Dude, I still have scars on my legs from seeing Metallica in 2000 because I was an idiot and didn't use sunscreen. Yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll
yeah.
make sure to get some. Yeah, I mean, we've already got some sunscreen, but I think it might be SPF 50.
Okay.
So
So as long as the sun doesn't set, like if the sun doesn't set for 2 straight days, we should be good.
yeah, at least we're all gonna be there for
Yeah.
one day anyway. So
Right. Yeah.
yeah, and probably our lazy asses aren't gonna show up like 3 o'clock in the afternoon anyway.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah. No, yeah, we already got excited when we saw the schedule, and we're like, no band that we wants to see starts before 3. Yes.
yeah, I think like Fozzy might be the first one like at 4:30 or 4 or something like that. But
Yeah.
so
So
it's like yeah,
yeah.
we got time to get there and wander around and do some
Right.
stuff.
Yeah.
And get a couple of beverages in before we see the first band. So
Exactly. Exactly.
and see the fun thing too is like the way the festival grounds are set up. It's like if you don't want to get in the thick of the crowd, you just want to like stand in the back of the thing. You can totally do that, see and hear everything that goes on, and just be peachy. So it's like if
Oh,
you want to stay away from the crowd but still be able to see what's going on, totally.
that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, or also if things are loud enough that while you're walking around the festival grounds, you can still hear the bands. So even if you don't
Yeah.
really care about them, like, oh, that's a good song, or that kind of sounds cool. So yes, it's yeah. And as
Yeah.
food goes, there's literally everything you can imagine. There was some place in Nashville that had there wasn't like a hot chicken, it was kind of a mild hot chicken.
Yeah.
But they had some fried. It was some Nashville place that had fried chicken. My God, it was amazing. I wanted to go back, but the line was too long later in the evening. So, yeah, like I said, there's food trucks aplenty. So yeah, there will be no lack of anything to do there.
Yeah.
So we are going to be well taken care of. That is for
Well,
sure.
cool.
Alrighty, well, we're gonna wrap it up for this week here. So, like I said, it was gonna be a short one here, and that's all right here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
I've got animals that are starting to revolt on me too. So
yes,
they need to.
yeah, I've got some there looking at me, so they may want their evening treats. So,
Yeah.
anyway, always good hanging out with your brother.
It was a blast as usual. Thank you, sir. Even if it was just a chill, relaxed night, we need that from time to time.
Exactly. Yeah, we can't push the envelope every single episode here.
Exactly.
Anyway, you all have yourself a wonderful evening, and we will see you next time on the Fanatic Forum. And in the meantime, as we close, I'm going to play our ad here for Comic Books for Kids. See you guys next time.
Comic Books for Kids provides comic books to kids in hospitals and cancer centers across the U.S. It's a place where we can all work together to make sure every child has a comic book. 100% of all proceeds go towards the kids. It's about making a difference, and while they're in the hospital, allowing them to fly like a superhero, battle dragons, or rescue teddy bears. We are in every state in the country and now support over 160 hospitals. Every month, we add more.
Visit cb4k.org.